All right, welcome to Tennis Sucks. Thank you to our sponsor, Ruckpack. Not only do they have amazing bags, they also have just launched a line of women's apparel. They've got women's tops, leggings, jewelry, and bags. You're a special someone.
I didn't know they had that.
They actually have a wide variety of gear, which I was not that familiar with either. I looked at the site, quite nice.
In the apparel game. Got a lot to talk about today, lots of exciting things happening. I think the thing that just broke today as before we were recording the pod, which I think leads us into a topic, is the cancellation of the Challenger event for MLP. So big ticket question is, what the hell is happening, and is MLP still a thing? What do you guys think?
I mean, I think everything is in jeopardy at the moment. You know, I think regardless, my belief is that one deal or the other will go through. You know, there seems to be some wrenches thrown in at the last minute, but I'm hopeful and I believe that something will get done that will help the league move forward over the next 3 to 4 years. I just don't know at this point. You know, there's so much news always coming out. It's always changing. It seems day to day we get different information, and it's exhausting.
I think you know better than we do because the Dink released it.
Yeah, Luke.
What do you know?
I mean, if you read it, you're reading as much as we know, you know? I mean, there was a scheduled deal, then apparently this other investment firm, Knight's Head Investment, I think, which was, they own the Night Owls, I think, or invested in the Night Owls. I think they approached the table and it delayed everything. Then we released that article, and then all of a sudden it was like, no, we got to take them out again. And then it's back to the regular conversation, I think. So I genuinely have no idea.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have no idea either. I really can't give you like any clarity on it at all. But apparently we have a draft tomorrow.
I'm trying to get confirmation on that right now.
Yeah. Oh, and I did want to say this about Ruck. They did send me one product that's very fucking cool. It's an ice shaker drink. It has a speaker in it.
Okay.
So for the courts, you can take the speaker out and have your little game playing while you listen to beats and have your water or your whatever beverages you have here for us to try today.
What's the shaker part of it?
It's like the, you know, like the Gronk ice shaker, like the drink.
Like
ice shaker, like it's a big drink like this that holds, let's say, 32 ounces of fluid.
Okay.
And then at the bottom, I believe, there's a speaker. And I'm not sure if it's removable or the speaker is just a part of the ice shaker.
Just plays while you're drinking?
But it just plays. Well, no, I think you just set it down and it would play for this court so you could listen to it.
That's pretty cool.
That part, I was like, that's a good product.
So basically they're using the music to shake the drink.
What?
What the fuck is going on? Can we just speed it up? Guys, speed it up.
Doesn't make any
Right, I'm
sense.
like, what are you talking about?
It's a shaker drink.
No.
And you're just turning the music on, and I mean, imagining the bass is shaking the drink for you.
Luke, hurry. It's getting done.
Do you have anything
more he
useful
explains it,
to
it gets
contribute about the merger, Graham? What do you know?
Well, I heard from you guys again that California's canceled. The first event is canceled.
Yeah.
In California, right?
But how? So wait, it's the day before a draft, and you don't know if it's happening. It's like you guys are part owners of a team.
The funny thing is, I don't think there's one person that knows what's happening. And I don't mean like we're at the forefront of it, because we're not. But I legitimately think there's not one person who could tell you today what's happening in 2 weeks.
Wildness.
I think it's that shifty at the moment.
Well, in regards to the draft, I did go to the APP this weekend, do a little scouting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
And
Scouted some good players.
You did.
yeah. Anyone you want to shout out, Graham?
There's a new APP player. Did you see her?
What?
Georgia Johnson. She's a new APP player.
I loved that. She came right up to me. I didn't see her and gave me a huge hug.
Did she? That's great.
Yeah, and then we talked about how, again, that's where we met. I met a lot of people at that event, that
Punta.
Pickleplex,
Yep.
Punta, yeah. But she was one of them, and I told her about how she stared us down and then
Yes,
screamed at
roared
us.
in our face.
And she goes, if I'd have known that you were friends with those people I was playing, I would have never played for the Florida Smash, is what she said.
Damn.
Yeah, because I reminded her, and she's like, I don't remember that, but if I'd have known that, I wouldn't have played for you guys.
She's in the right.
What, you had fans like screaming, and then
We were basically cheering on the other team, and we didn't know Georgia. We were giving Georgia a hard time. And Georgia
She
just
roared at us like, turn around.
turned around after she hit a winner, stared us down without blinking, and just like screamed at
erupted.
us.
wow.
Erupted. Like you
Fuck you
motherfuckers.
guys.
Yeah.
Wild.
And we were like, whoa, this
Yeah.
girl's intense.
This girl's a
She came to
feisty-
win.
Yeah, she came to win.
Damn.
That's how we first kind of met Georgia.
Yeah, great.
So
and then you were
we
like,
knew she
yeah,
had
let's
killer.
draft her.
We knew she had killer in her blood early on.
That's funny. And so Georgia actually won gold at
Yes.
the APP. Is it a
Of course
surprise?
she did.
I mean,
In
PPA
mixed,
player now.
in mixed. And in
mixed.
doubles, I think a little surprisingly, she and Paris got silver, lost to Oshiro and Milan Rain. But
Who are challenger players
Correct.
for MLP. So
Yes.
two challenger players
beat two
premier players.
Right.
Oh, and they beat Suzanne Barr and Megan Fudge, which is
Yes.
just as big of an upset, probably. Close to it.
I wouldn't say that. Not as big of an upset at all, but but an upset nonetheless. And I think Bobby Oshiro is maybe one of the most underrated players because she hits the shit out of the ball. And
I don't think she's underrated. Oh, maybe. I think people know her skills, but maybe not. You're right. She's not playing Premier enough.
Yeah, she's not playing Premier, and she's pretty good. Man.
That's
like
true.
I've played her a couple times where I'm like, damn, Bobby's really good.
Yeah.
I don't say that about a lot of girls.
Yeah.
So, but Milan and
Bobby.
Barbie, no, not, sorry, Georgia and Milan. Milan is a part of the five, right?
Yeah,
The-
yeah. She usually plays with Georgia. a lot.
So there was a tweet or something that was saying that actually maybe the five never actually signed a contract with MLP, and so they're not getting paid at all, and they're having to negotiate brand new, and maybe that's why they're playing APP.
We're pretty sure that one's not true.
Yeah.
Is that a rumor?
They-
Yeah, we saw the
They
money
got-
come
they-
out of the
they got
account, and it
some
was a lot of
fucking-
money.
They got a lot of loot that five.
We
let me
watched
tell
the
you.
account just go.
Perfect. Well, I'm glad that we could clear that up.
But hey, fortunately, I won't even name names. I don't need to anymore. There was a really good negotiation to put that deal together. Saved MLP.
Yeah.
With
He's
that
up in the
deal.
Dink Awards
He's
for
up in the
influential
Dick Awards,
voices
yeah.
in
He's
pickleball.
Really, he saved the day. Now he wants out.
Well, we'll talk more about that in a bit, but some of the interesting things. So Hayworth won men's singles. What do you-
Not all that shocking either.
No?
He's fucking good.
He's good. He beat Ben Johns at some point, right?
Yeah, and he's playing with that gearbox, which I think's helped him a lot.
Ooh, I played against it for the first time the
How
other day.
fast is that thing?
It's not. It's fast, but that's not what the problem is. The problem is the lack of
sound,
noise.
yeah.
So you can't tell how hard
Distinguish,
they're
sure,
hitting
sure,
it.
sure. No, it's similar to Vice.
So yeah, the ball is a lot of times on you, and you're always late because you're like, oh, I thought he hit that soft, but he didn't. He hit it hard, and you're late to the shot.
Right.
That's the confusing part of it. But yeah, it's tough. It was tough to manage. He was a senior pro guy I played against.
Got it. I also heard that Bobby's Yola paddle maybe was a little hot. Did you hear it?
All those new Yolas are.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have that de-lambed sound and feel to them, in my opinion. Like they de-lambed them ahead of time.
Oh shit, we have a face plant.
Oh no.
Almost bailed face forward.
Ooh.
Uh-oh. That looks like it
Yeah.
hurt.
Let's see. CJ won men's and beat Nunnery and DSQ to a injury thing, right? Like Nunnery was injured.
Yes,
Is that right?
so as far as I know, Nunnery, like the match before, was really struggling with his knee. I didn't watch the final, but he didn't look good in the semi. Like he was really struggling to walk. So I don't know how much weight I put on that win, but William Howells looks like a pretty good player coming up. Aggressive, athletic, and then CJ's improving a ton. He's super solid these days. Barely misses a drop. Counters well on both sides. Guy's what, 6'4" now?
Yeah, he's got a lot of
6'5"?
confidence now.
How
too.
old is he?
Yeah, he's got a lot of swag now. He's
like
kinda getting
17 or
going.
something?
Yeah, and he's
But he's been
getting better
playing
and better.
forever. The
Playing
first time I
forever.
ever went to, I saw him playing. Guy was 6'2" and eating an ice cream cone right before winning a medal. I'm like, all right, this dude's crazy.
No, he's a really good player.
Just straight palmed ice cream, vanilla ice cream for a gold medal match. I'm like, that's an interesting guy.
He was a kid.
He still is.
Yeah, well, I mean, but at that time in particular, he could eat a burger and an ice cream. It would have been
Oh
fine.
yeah. But yeah, one of the persons I was scouting was Will Howell. And I kind of mentioned to him like, hey, if you could just stay out of the gold medal match, that'd be cool because we've got the draft next week. And I don't want any like flags raised. Guy goes and wins it.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
Man.
the flags are up for sure.
Wait, Luke, before we go on, I brought something today
Okay.
for us to try.
Go ahead.
I don't think I want to try this.
You're trying it.
First of all, I have enough people telling me what the fuck to do. I don't need another one.
So I've been trying all the protein things I get off of Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
I got some protein oatmeal,
Yeah.
and I'd like to, if I could, share it with you guys for a minute.
Yeah, she's good.
Let you try it out. Tell me what you think.
Okay.
Is this worth it? All right, so I got two flavors. I've got blueberry and chocolate.
I'm excited.
Don't get excited. This stuff's called Meal One. All right.
Look, how bad does that look?
Here's chocolate.
Oh my gosh. Graham. No, I'm not trying the next one. I'm not doing it anymore. Graham, I'm not doing it anymore.
That's the good one. Wait till I get blueberry banana out.
What did you think, Rowan? Did you think that was good or bad?
Oh my God.
Really good, but say it's a big thing.
It's like removing
really
the taste from my mouth. It's like there's nothing.
So,
It's in the middle.
so I don't think we're getting a sponsorship from Meal One.
Oh my God.
Meal one? Meal
That's
you got some work to
awful.
do.
But this is the pain you have to go through if you want to bench 225.
How are you doing on that front, by the way?
I lifted today.
Not well.
It's going fine.
Connor told me
Oh,
how
he
bad
did?
you're doing.
I thought it was good.
He told me that you said you need like a little help. Right? He mentioned it.
The last thing I forgot to mention to you guys, I wanted to wait till after you ate it. I saw this today. There's a warning label on the box, which I hadn't seen before. Cancer and reproductive harm.
Great.
So,
So you just gave us cancer?
Yeah, you gave us that.
or you may not be able to reproduce in the future.
Oh, that's all right.
But yeah, not awesome. This is a tough one. This is an expensive
We're
box.
not
so-
trying the other two. We're
I think
moving
that was a failed experiment, but
especially when you literally
You're
say,
still eating that bite, aren't you?
what you literally say, which was stupid, was that was the good one. If you said that was the worst one, I'm like, all right, maybe there's an
No,
upgrade
this one's.
coming.
I think this one's better actually.
No, no,
Blueberry
no, no,
banana.
no, no.
oh my God.
We're good.
I
We're
don't know
good.
how that come.
Graham, we're good. All right, let's move on.
All right.
Thank you for that.
So try it out. Protein oatmeal.
Circling back to the APP event, you said you took your paddle to get tested there, and they have new paddle testing policies. What is that about?
Yeah, so I brought dwell paddles there. I
Yeah.
just had them on me, and they were new ones. I was giving them to somebody, and they grabbed me. Who was it that grabbed me? Who's the head ref that you got in a big fight with in one of your tournaments?
Dom Stanley?
No, remember
get in
the
a big
guy?
fight with him.
Oh, yes, you did. You got in a fight, and then you said, "Bring out the head ref." The head ref came out, and then they had to shoot you down. You were playing Bing Bong.
Okay.
Remember that?
Oh,
moment?
yeah. I think, let's be honest, I think my partner was in the bigger fight.
Okay.
But yes.
So Byron and his wife tried him out, but of course their ref's like, let's put him to the test. And I'm like, oh, great, let's do it. And so we went in the booth, tested the paddle. So APP now tests. They test for roughness and let's call it deflection in some way. It's more like degradation of the paddle. They're trying to find if, I don't know, if it's like got like glue degradation or core degradation. But the paddles passed. They were actually a little bit low. I was disappointed. They were averaging about 30, 32 on the roughness scale. And then they have this like sonogram. It looks like a baby sonogram. And they rub it in a part of the paddle where they think it can't delaminate, like way down by the handle, right? And they get that reading. And then they rub it on the rest of the paddle and see how much it changes from a spot where it can't delaminate to a spot where it could delaminate.
Interesting. So they're getting more coverage of the paddle than other tests are for deflection by doing
Yeah,
that?
it's just completely different than how the PPA and MLP do it, which is where they put pressure on the paddle, see how far down, basically it goes down on 5 pounds of pressure. And then if it goes down too much, then that paddle fails, right?
Interesting.
It's delaminated. But this one's more checking to see if the paddle is in good standing. And that test was fine. I don't know how accurate it is or how...
Rowan.
I feel like that's one you could get around also, but it's a nice, easy way to test. The funny thing I found was I said, okay, well, what's the penalty if I don't pass? What are the players' penalty? And they're like, well, we let them know it's wrong, and we highly suggest they take it out of play. But they keep it also anonymous, which I was like, that's a little different than how like PPA, PPA and those, we're all like, oh, well, this paddle company failed, this paddle company failed. They basically saying is, we don't want the drama.
Right.
We just want the play to be fair.
That's smart. I think that's smart.
Yeah, it was a different
Interesting.
way of doing it, but yeah.
I mean, maybe lacking a little transparency, but smart.
Yeah, and it didn't even say you had to take the paddle out of play. And you can't challenge a test in APP. You can't say like, I didn't like their paddle, go test it. That's not how it works. They test everyone's paddles and then they suggest you don't play with that paddle.
A
Hoping that
suggestion.
you as a player
would
are
not.
going to have integrity and not play that paddle, which is on the cusp of being, outside the limits of USA.
I wonder how many players actually withdrew their paddles as a result of that test.
Don't know.
It seems very on brand for the APP to go about it that way. Kind of very slow, methodical. Like, we're not interested in drama. We're just here for good, fair play.
Definitely.
And I mean, that kind of like has been the question on everyone's mind is if everything else crumbles, APP is just going to be this, very solid tool. It just exists.
It felt very APP to me. Everyone's so nice. The other funny thing that happened was we were filming it. So I have video of it, by the way, for you.
Oh, okay, cool.
So we can get it to you. Maybe we can put it on the pod so you can
Nice.
show people this device. But Ken Herman walked by as we were testing the paddle. And
Ken Herman is
Ken Herman is the owner, or what do we? He's not the CEO. He's the founder
Owner, founder,
Owner.
CEO, all of those sound
Yep.
of APP.
about right.
But the one comment he makes to me, he doesn't have anything specific to say but this. He said, hey, I see you're filming the process. Travis isn't going to, I don't know what the word he used, but treat us like shit on the podcast, is he? And I'm like, honestly, I'm like, no promises really, Ken.
Yeah, right,
But
exactly.
no, I said, no. We love you guys. We we've got to say how we feel, and it's how we feel about the APP.
No, I think the APP has a lot of positives. I would just say, like, when it comes to the highest levels of pickleball, it's not.
Yeah.
That's all.
And that was pretty clear, I think, from switching from the Masters to the APP stream last
Did you
weekend.
watch the APP
Yeah,
stream? Oh.
I did. And it was such a different
Level.
I mean,
different
so
world.
stark, you know?
It's a different world.
The other strange thing I noticed about it is no one's playing 5-0 anymore. Everyone's playing pro qualifier.
Oh, really?
So the 5-0 is like a walkover. You can go in an APP, probably be a 4-0, and take home a 5-0 medal
Really?
because everyone wants to. There was I think there was a pre-qualifier for the qualifier to get into the draw, to get into the round of 32.
Holy crap.
It was like,
Wow.
It was like 80 people trying to play one event.
You think that's because of what Alex was saying of people being able to get pro contracts so easily, trying to like shoot their shot?
I just
Maybe.
think they're watching the streams like we are and saying, hey, I got a chance at this,
Yeah,
you know?
I guess you're right. Yeah. Interesting.
But yeah, the level of 4-5 and 5-0 was not impressive to me because I felt like all the true 5-0s were playing, or 4-5s were playing pro qualies.
Yep.
Those who are called to do a lot, carry a lot. The makers, the doers, the movers. Moving at a fast pace requires tools that keep up, that lighten the load, that push us forward. Because with the right tools, there's nothing you can't shoulder. Ruck Pack, something for everyone.
Travis, you had an event you wanted to talk about, a Lightning Pickleball event. You want to give us the details on that?
Yeah, I know a little bit about it. We'll put the link in, but there's an alumni Tampa Bay Lightning event. Our friend Tom Frederick is hosting it. And I don't know a lot of details. I just know it's March 9th from 9 a.m. to 12:30. I think it's like $300 to register. And I think you get to play pickle with some former and current Lightning players. And that's about the long and short that I know. But we'll post more details, and it'll be on the website. And yeah, if you want to register, I think there's about 10 spots left. So go take a look.
Nice. Yeah. And I heard that there's no bites on your 5K offer of getting a
Oh, really? I didn't hear that.
Not even a nibble.
What did you ask him?
I told him.
Oh, you did?
Did I tell you that?
It's in the notes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, I put that. Not even one nibble. And
Should we up the price?
Yeah, how much is it going to
I'll
take?
go in halvesy with you.
So what are we going to?
10K?
Wow. Okay, 10K it is, motherfuckers. 5
Yeah.
events, we make a final.
Yeah.
We don't make a final. 10 G's.
Yeah.
Let's see what we can do. If
I
not,
think a lot of players might be needing some money because apparently a lot of these contracts are going to be void.
That's true.
Hayden, where are you at?
I don't even know where I'm be playing. Someone texted me today, like, when are you coming to Arizona? I was like, for what?
I don't know how to introduce this next segment, but Jimmy Miller's a sellout.
Ooh, this is a good one. So I know he called, like, I guess Zane called him a sellout, and he, like, strongly refuted this. And I like Jimmy. Like, I want to preface that.
Do
I
you?
like Jimmy. Yeah, I don't mind him.
You like his on-air personality, or
I
you
actually
like
like
him?
his off-air personality, and I like the fact that he's just, like, shooting the shit. Like, a lot of it I don't think he means. I think he's just shooting the shit. But they did, like, a recap of the ball, and Vulcan's a sponsor of the podcast. and
Oh,
of
yes. I
and
agree
it's
with
like-
this.
It's like, you know, first of all, he made all these things about, in relation to me, about how, like, Shohei Ohtani, I didn't understand the ball price, and Shohei Ohtani makes the Dodgers better. That's why ticket prices rise. In no way does the Vulcan ball make pickleball better. Not even 1% better. What I will say is the color is an improvement. That is true. But the ball was a huge flop. It went out of round in 1 second. And if you're going to call it like it is, Jimmy, then you got to call it like it fucking is. And that ball did not perform well.
Yeah, but that's because he's tied in with the PPA and Tyler.
But
and
that's
Vulcan.
the point, motherfucker, is he's a sellout.
The Vulcan is even
You're
a sponsor
saying-
of theirs, probably.
Correct. That's my point.
When I heard that, I thought the exact same thing.
Okay.
Sellout. But that wasn't any surprise
But
for
it's
me
not,
from Jimmy.
sellout's a really hard word, but it's like, to me, if you're going to be that guy that you call it as you see it, then you got to call it as you see it. And the ball needs a lot of improvements. I think Vulcan will make the improvements. I'm not saying the other balls were perfect, the Dura, but they cost less. One, and as of now, they are better. End of story.
Agreed.
So I appreciate that they're your
same thing.
sponsor, but fucking okay, man, call spades, motherfucker.
Breaking news: Maria Sharapova has joined Franklin Pickleball, and is coming to Pickleball.
To pick a slam.
I don't know actually. I think just generally she signed a deal with Franklin.
Okay.
So-
but I know she's playing the Pickle Slam in Miami on February 4th.
Is she better or worse than Jeannie Bouchard?
She is not going to be good no matter how much she practices.
Whoa, she'll never be good.
No.
Jeannie has a shot if she practices.
Not really.
Oh,
Maybe in singles. But look, again, there are game styles that will translate and there are game styles that will not. These game styles don't translate. Like, I don't think Maria's ever hit like a volley in her life, and she won slams. She doesn't volley. You have to have some girls who have like some, a divergence of skills. She doesn't. She was just fucking 6'3", serving big and cracking balls from the baseline. How does that translate? And I hate to go back to like the Sam Queer comparison because I love Sam and he's actually improving a lot. But that skill set doesn't translate. I said it since day one.
yeah.
These skill sets don't translate. Like at PPA, if you want to sign tennis players, ask me who. I'll tell you who will be fucking good, and I'll tell you who will suck.
They don't care. I don't think they care who's good. I think they
No,
care who's going
they
to bring
do.
eyes to the sport.
But hold on. That's a stupid comment because Jeannie is going to bring eyes twice. If Jeannie was good, she would bring eyes every fucking time.
Yeah, but the other players that you're going to name are not like as exciting for people to watch and
You
may
don't know
never
that.
bring eyes.
You don't know that.
All right, let me hear her name.
They're signing Maria Sharapova, who is number one in the world.
That's what I'm
and, like,
saying.
one of the
she's
biggest
gonna,
highlights.
Right, she's going to bring eyes.
Right, but if they're
even
signing,
if she's not good.
If they're signing her, then I'm saying there's other players with that same pedigree that would be willing to sign.
Oh,
that
let me hear.
actually
What
could
is
be
it?
Good.
Give me a name. Give it to him right now.
I'll give you a ton of them. Let's go with Kleisters would have been better. That's one. If she practiced, she would have been very good. Fuck, I'd have to go through the list.
All right.
Justine Ennen. She's small, but played a 1E, had a 6 slice, could volley.
How good was she?
Number one in the world.
Oh, wow. How old is she
You
now?
wanted similar pedigree. I'm going to give you similar pedigree.
How
I could
old
go
is she
Amelie
now?
Mauresmo, like the French woman, won Wimbledon. Similar age. French woman won Wimbledon. Like, would she probably do it? No, but my point is, if they're getting people like Maria to be interested, then they are obviously throwing in some serious cash and could get some serious high-profile players who could actually be good.
Well, I've never watched any tennis, especially not female tennis, and I know the name Maria Sharapova.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, she was enormous.
Yeah.
Enormous, especially in the U.S.
But I didn't know Jeannie Bouchard, but I know the name
Yeah,
Maria
but
Sharapova.
Maria's that you're talking like Jordan, Carmelo Anthony. Like, I'm not saying she's Jordan, but like that's the variation.
Gotcha.
Franklin has signed her as a paddle sponsor, but she
yeah.
might just be playing the slam with that paddle.
Right.
But apparently she's been sponsored by Head for like ever. So
Forever.
I think
Forever
it's kind of interesting that she
Prince
switched.
for a while, but then Head.
So, all right. Well, hey, the good news is we've been nominated for Pickleball Podcast of the Year.
Was that you that did the nominating for us?
I was on
I'm
a
in
committee,
3 of them.
but
I saw my face a lot. Graham didn't see your face as much.
Graham's
expected.
he's integrated into some of these, obviously, you know.
one of them.
Yeah. So yeah, Travis, you nominated for Best Dressed, which
Easy win.
no surprise.
No surprise.
Most Influential Voice, which I think is tied to the podcast,
Of
right?
course-
I mean,
of
you
course
always,
it is, yes.
yeah. But you've made some pretty influential changes to the game.
I think you're more influential than Tim Parks as a voice in pickleball.
Well, I think the one influence that I did have is I moved the testing forward a ton this year with paddles when I did the thing I did at Red Rock. That was my contribution. And I don't think a lot of people would have gone about it like that. And it cost me a sponsor and all these things, and I don't really, life. See, Jimmy, you just gotta fucking say what you say. And lose money like I did.
Well, I figured that what we could do is maybe just actually get your takes on some of these awards and see who you would be voting for. So if I read these out, then maybe you guys can argue and see if you guys align, I guess.
We're definitely not going to align.
I think we'll align quite a bit.
All right, Male Player of the Year, DSQ,
Johns, not
MacGuffin. All right.
That's not who I had picked. Oh, Male Player of the Year? Yeah,
Yeah.
Ben Johns.
All right, Ben Johnson.
Sorry. Yeah.
All right, Women's Player of the Year. Do you want the
Emily
nominees?
Waters. No, I don't
Waters?
need them.
Yeah, can I hear the category?
The one who won all the fucking.
Can I hear the names really
We've
fast?
got
You really want them?
Bright, Parento, Waters, Barr, and David.
Okay.
I went with Anna Bright.
How many of them won a Triple Crown?
I'm going with Anna Bright for that one.
Okay.
Go on.
You're a piece of shit.
And I went with Andre Daskew as Male Player of the Year.
You're a bigger piece of shit.
So we are differing already. Keep going, please.
Most improved men's player. We've got Alshon, Garnett, Patriquin, Tellez, and Stack Screwed.
I'm gonna go
Ooh,
Alshon or Patrick.
that's a tough. What about Staxrud?
There's a lot of
That's
lots
a tough
of
one.
very
Yeah,
improved
Federico
people.
deserves a lot of cred there too. He's obviously a beast.
And singles and in doubles. So that's why
Yes.
there's an argument there.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
Staxrud.
Probably Fed. Yep.
All right.
Well said because of the singles.
On the women's side, most improved women's play, we've got Fudge, Wright, Rohrbacher, Tyra Black, and Georgia.
I was going with Tyra Black
Yeah,
on that
Tyra
one.
Black. That's a good one.
Best on-court antics, Stack Screwed,
I went with
Arnold,
Roth on
Newman, Hewitt, Kovalova, and Braverman.
I went with Hewitt on that one.
Yeah, I'll go Hewitt.
I think so. Makes sense. And then obviously best dressed. I guess we're obviously going to pick the Rettenmeyer.
We went with
The
Travis.
Sunday Swagger.
Thank you, Graham. I would agree
Uh,
on that one.
senior, do you watch Senior? Would you be able to?
Yep, I
listen
know.
to-
All Toff Merchant.
Owl paddle.
Althoff
Did you see
Merchant.
that?
No, where?
The
where?
guy's got the fucking
Oh,
owl
yeah. He's been high
paddle.
before, actually.
You hear it?
Wow.
I don't hear
a
it,
thing.
actually.
Okay, go ahead, sorry.
Women's Senior Player of the Year, Ava Welsher, Beth Bellamy, Natalie Bagby, Anna Shirley, or Kim
I'm
Kessner.
going Beth Bellamy.
I went
I
Bellamy
have
just
no
because
idea what
Travis
these all
played with
Yeah, I don't know.
her
Like,
son.
don't ask me senior things. I don't know.
All right.
Althoff Merchant, you know.
Yeah,
Come
yeah,
on.
Okay,
All
okay,
right.
yeah, but
We'll pick Althoff for the men's then.
Altoff's an obvi victory.
Best on-air personality, Fleming, Stone, Blackwood, McMahon, and Catalano.
I went with Blackwood just because I like her.
I'll go
But-
with Stone.
Stone and Blackwood are my two top for sure.
Good choices. Rising talent, and this one's Pisnik, Tardio, Martinez Vic, and Castillo.
Tardio.
Cardio.
I would agree with that.
In unison there, Graham. In unison.
All right, let me get to some more interesting ones.
Did you actually vote Travis or no?
No. Is it done? Can I no longer
You
vote?
can still vote.
I didn't even vote for myself.
You need to get on there and vote.
I've
At least get one or
been
two.
really, really busy getting the shit kicked out of me by life.
Do you guys know the YouTube creators? I could read those out or no?
The YouTube what?
Like the YouTube content creators and stuff
Yeah, I
like
know
that?
them. I picked a local. I went with our local. I went with Danae.
Yeah.
All things pickleball.
All
I
things
gotta go
pickable.
Caitlin Kerr. just 'cause
ATP.
it's-
She was the
she's like a-
Instagram.
Oh, she was?
Yeah. Instagram highlight, but also Memes to Pickleball is on there.
Oh, memes. 100%. I went with memes.
wins everything. If memes wins all categories. If they put Male Player of the Year and memes was there, I take memes.
They already wrote that they won and showed memes of how scared the other people in the category are going up against
It's
memes.
true, right? The pickleball memes guy is the NFL memes guy?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I've been told.
Okay, if that's
And
true,
we know 'em. I
I
think
won
it's someone we
money
know.
based on NFL memes, like betting on the Bucks over the Eagles, because I just was basing it off of his stupid ass memes. Because he had like a trash can coming into the playoffs, and that was the Eagles. And I was like, okay, the Bucks have a chance here, and they kicked the shit out of him. $200, thanks memes.
Next up, we got the fan favorite. This is MacGuffin, Navratil, Elise Jones, Anna Bright, Riley Newman, and Anna Lee.
Taking Anna Bright.
I didn't hear that. What was that category?
The fan favorite.
Oh, no. Fan favorite. No, same again. I have a different one
I mean,
for
I think
that.
Tyson will win, but I'm taking Anna.
I didn't have Tyson either.
Really?
I had another one. Can you tell him again?
Zane.
Zane is who I picked.
He's got a pretty big fan following.
Yep,
he does.
Zane's my pick on that one. But you're right. Tyson's probably going to win
Yeah,
that.
Tyson's probably gonna win.
Influential voice. Tim Parks, Travis, Zane, Jill, Leia, and Jimmy.
I don't even know if I like that category.
I win.
I picked Travis, but I don't know. Influential voice.
It's like who's speaking up a lot, who's like making, challenging the status quo.
Gotcha. I picked Travis. So there's my answer.
All right.
Travis.
College Player of the Year. We got, I don't know if you know
Colin
this, but
Schick.
I mean, Django's on there, our local guy. Colin
Yeah.
Schick's on there.
I went with Colin,
Yeah, Colin Schick
obviously,
wins.
because
I
he
mean,
went from
we'd love
collegiate
to-
to pro.
Would love Django to win, but Collins obviously the win.
And the last one, I think, best rivalry. Matt versus Riley. Salome.
I went MLP here.
He went MLP. Salome versus Fudge. Loong versus McGuffin. Julian versus Colin. And then the Squeeze versus DC. Pickleball.
Squeeze DC.
Nice. That's it.
It's a good categories. You guys did a good job there.
Last thing we can talk about, reasons why people don't watch pickleball. I guess you saw that stat that 1% of pickleball players watch pro pickleball. Is that what
Dinking. So this
Yeah.
has been the overwhelming consensus that I've gotten, even from a couple
That's
guys.
your answer to this problem?
This
Okay,
is
go
a
on.
couple people have given me this.
Okay.
That they cannot stand watching when the points become dinking because they don't really understand the nuance and they don't really care. So I actually referenced the idea that is not my idea, but somebody told me about this, which is there should be a shot clock. So whether you're returning or serving, I don't remember who, but you have to basically end the point within 20 seconds. I thought that was a great idea because then you have to pull trigger early and that gets rid of that and it makes it far more like pulling trigger Ernie's dynamic. So yes, I think that's the biggest issue is it becomes too bland, too boring, dink, 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 and that needs to be changed.
This leads to one of my points we were talking about that we weren't going to bring up, but I'm going to now. I heard something that is smart. We're going to do 4 people in Premier MLP and 6 people in Challenger. I think that we should switch that. I think it should be 6 players
We had to do it.
in Premier. I'm getting to a point here. And 4 in Challenger, right? So you're not, but more on that point is if we're going to test stuff like a shot clock,
Yeah.
which I think is a great idea too, we should test all that stuff in Challenger, see how it's received, and then if it's great, use it in Premiere.
I see.
But don't go trying all this stuff out with the score changing, and
Right.
you know, because then it looks like we don't know what we're doing.
Right.
We do it in Challenger, where not as many people are watching and don't care as much, and then we move it up to Premiere. Right? You guys agree with that?
No, a lot of people, they do it in tennis. Like
they do
they'll
it in
try,
baseball too,
they
right?
try things in the Challenger Tour, and if they like it, then they move it forward.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
MLP, whatever that, is it Samin? Is he ahead of that? Samin. 6 people in Premiere and 4 in Challenger, and let's test stuff like
Makes a
the
lot-
shot
that
clock
makes a lot more
in
sense.
Challenger.
Yep.
Yeah. Would be interesting. So, yeah. I mean, from my perspective of why people don't watch it, a lot of people said that at the beginning stages of learning how to play, they couldn't appreciate how skilled the shots in pro pickleball were until you start understanding how difficult those shots are, and then you find it exciting to watch.
But I think
That's the point. Is like you don't see the nuance of the dinking. To you, it just looks like they're just pushing the ball back and forth when
But
they
I-
try to find openings.
I think the argument is how are there 36 million people playing which should know this nuance and difficulty, and only less than 1% are watching?
The other one that I got was like when you watch pickleball, professional pickleball, it doesn't look that different. Like they watch LeBron James and they know I could never do that, but they watch pickleball, they're like, oh, I could do that. It's not like awe striking, you know?
Of course.
Of course.
I think one of the other big problems is how we have to jump around. Like, it makes me not want to watch pickleball because I think to myself, this is going to be a task. I'm going to have to go to 4 different channels.
Yeah.
I'm not going to know what the schedule
Just
is.
the
I don't know when
streaming
people are
accessibility,
playing.
yeah.
It's so difficult to get to what you want to get to. Like, if it just played like the NFL does on a channel and you know the times ahead of time, it'd be way better. But I don't know how you get to that point. Yeah.
I mean, I would say probably stick to YouTube for a little bit longer
I
before we
agree.
can get on a commercial
Always
channel or
YouTube,
something.
Always
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah.
I think that number would have grown so much more if everything was on YouTube all the time.
I mean, back in the pandemic, people were watching marble racing because it was like streamed on like Instagram and
right,
YouTube or whatever. But it's just easy and accessible. Everyone can do it.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I mean, we'll have to try and convert more people. I also believe that team formats are more enjoyable for people.
No question.
Way
And
better.
I think every sport that people really watch in America is team based.
Which is why MLP should strive.
And they should be local teams that people can rally behind and not random, you know.
Agreed.
Strive, you mean?
What did he say?
You said
Strive?
strive, yeah.
I said strive?
Yeah, you said which is why MLP should strive. Which is why MLP should thrive.
Oh, should.
Yeah, I just wanted this shit on you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Why? No. Strive. I meant strive, not thrive. Thrive means that you're doing well. Strive means like trying to do well.
See?
I think I'm
You see what I
right.
do? No,
messing
it
with
said no. It said like all sports that do well use a team format, which is why MLP should strive. No,
Strive to.
thrive.
No, should
They
strive.
should strive to thrive. They should strive to survive.
No, they should strive to
My elbow
fight to make it the #1 format. Like not give up, basically.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I'm
Okay,
just busting-
sorry,
I'm just busting
sorry.
I'm just busting your balls.
I
Thanks a lot.
strived to like that
Thanks a
oatmeal,
lot.
but it was terrible.
Hey, I need to bust somebody's balls right now. Okay, I'm getting in my fucking ass. Sorry, I'm getting my butt kicked.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll see. We need more interesting things to get more watches, more eyeballs on pickleball for sure.
Yeah, I hope so.
Those are our topics for today.
Thank you so much for watching. Rowan, do you want to say goodbye to the suckers? Say bye, suckers.
Bye, sucker.
Perfect.
Perfect. And check
Go-
out Ruck.
Yeah, go wreck
Go
yourself.
rock yourself. Yeah, go rock yourself.
Later, alligator.
All right. Bye-bye.